This is our client Ben, one of my heroes if I'm honest, and this is his story.
So in 2016 I lost my arm in the Croydon tram crash, and whilst I was in hospital, the hospital put me in touch with Moore Barlow to discuss compensation and rehabilitation. When I lost my arm and I had the operation to remove my limb that couldn't be saved, as I came around in the hospital, the first thing I said to my wife was I'd lost my arm, but I was going to get an arm like Luke Skywalker, because I'm just a Star Wars fan. That's just who I am. I think I've always had a positive attitude to everything, and then when this happened, it's always been the case that I know my arm's not going to grow back, so it's you make the best out of the worst situation that you can. When the accident happened, you immediately enter a completely new theatre, and prosthetics was a complete unknown to me, and I really needed Moore Barlow's help to just kind of steer me down the right course of action.
Ben's journey has involved a remarkable determination, optimism, can-do attitude, which you will hear.
The problem with the NHS arms is, by their own admission, nothing's really changed in 20-30 years. And a lot of the prosthetic devices that were available to me, especially as above elbow amputee, was quite limited.
Rehabilitation is all about facilitating the person who's been injured to regain as much of their own life as they can and want to regain and are able to regain.
In my free time, I would play computer games, I played my guitar, I was really active, so I cycled to work from Croydon into Canary Wharf, go to the gym regularly. I never stopped, really. I was always doing something. The problem with going private is the devices are quite expensive, because they are quite niche. So each arm is custom made, and it's an expensive cost.
The claim, when it was put together, actually reflected him as a real unique human being and not just a standard amputation case. He isn't a case, he's a person.
They never quite believed just how much I use my prosthetics daily, because from what they'd read, people didn't necessarily use prosthetics daily as an above elbow amputee. It was just knowing that there was funds available to cover the first arm that I had, and any bits along the way that were not necessarily missed, but were just not necessarily thought of. Until you've lost an arm, you almost take for granted what you do daily. As time goes on, I will need new arms, so you have to make sure you've got that money in a trust ready to go for when it might be that I break one of my devices, so I have to get a new arm. We've been able to start planning for the future and putting all those plans that we had back into practice. I'd never used my left hand for writing or anything really, and as part of that they encouraged me to use colouring in books for learning to hold pens properly, and then in addition to that, to help with dexterity, they wanted me to start using Lego as a way of just using my hand to do all the normal things that I expect to do in life. I think during the course of everything that's gone on for me through my recovery and the court case and everything, I think Moore Barlow's just always had my corner. They've always had someone there that's been able to give me the information that I need, and it's just it's just nice to know that there's that safe pair of hands there that's watching you. And it's not just the fact that they're there for you during the court case. Once we'd had the settlement, they were there for me afterwards. I think the best advice I could give would be to just almost practice patience and not to rush into something that might be almost a quick and easy fix. Find people that are not rushing to tell you what you want, but actually discover what you actually need. To find someone that's actively looking out for you, because everybody's different.